Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Knock, knock. Is this working?
Hi. Yeah.
Is it on?
Is the simulation all in place? Everything all good?
Yeah.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Let's see. We will introduce everybody. We'll go around the screen. So Allison, Aries Girl Tarot. We have Val, Dragonfly Crystals. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. Heather, Indigo Jaguar. Fruit of Hearts.
Yep.
And Ivana from Ivana Intuitive. Allie, Heart and Soul Connected, and Marina, Heart Center Tarot. So thanks for coming. Tonight we're going to talk about numerology.
Perfect.
And I don't know how deep we're going to get into it. I learned a lot about numerology. I was thinking about this earlier. It was about 18 years ago. It's been a very long time. The book that I have, I believe the copyright is 2005. And I got it right when it came out. And it's one of the, actually, it might be the only subject that I only have one book on, which is weird for me. But the reason that I only have one book on it is it left me with no questions at all. And as you guys know, I'm a minimalist, right? Including my bookshelf. And I love books. But anyhow, the book that I have, this is old now, and she's probably came out with other books. This is Glynis McCants, and it's called Glynis Has Your Number. And it's a very easy read. It's full of information. And she's probably, like I said, she's probably written other books since then. She's been on different TV shows, I know, in the past. I don't even know if she still writes. She could be retired by now, for all I know. But she's very personable. I know there's stuff of her on YouTube. But anyhow, I don't even know how it came across. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, how did this even come across to me, or how did I find out about it or hear about it originally? I can't even remember. But I've always liked numbers. I don't know if any of you ladies liked numbers, like since you were a kid. I don't know. I just always have liked numbers. Not that I was a big math person necessarily.
I'm not good at math. Numbers
And
were
I
not my
actually
friend growing up.
I did really good in math until it got very detailed. And then it was just like downhill from there. But like regular math, yes. But anyhow, it was just numbers. And, but anyhow, so I'm just trying to decide where to start. I will reference the book a little bit only because I was hoping to kind of have something laid out, but I'm just going to freestyle this. And I do know enough about it. And again, we're just going to kind of dip into it a little bit. I can probably answer questions, hopefully. If not, I'll just say, I don't know. But it's, like I said, it's a great book. It's got a lot of information. So numerology is, it's been around a very, very long time. This is the baby of Pythagoras, which some of you may already know. This is, it precedes, it's like 6,000, or actually, hold on. I think it's even in here. Just because I'm curious. 2,500 years ago. 6th century BCE, and it was the Pythagorean number system that he created. And he was a mathematician. He was a philosopher. He was born in Greece, I believe it was, and then he went and he studied in Egypt with the Chaldeans, and then he ended up moving to Italy, and he opened up a school. And, based on all the math, like very, very detailed, math. 525 BCE was when he, this formal school of philosophy. I don't know how formal a school is going to be in 525 BCE, but that's what they called it. Anyways, Pythagoras believed that the world was built on the power of numbers. Everything was
Yep.
seen and unseen. That was seen and unseen could be reduced to numbers. And he believed that there was an energy in numbers. And so everything can be converted to numbers, which is then converted to an energy. There's an energy to it. So the alphabet, right? So like your name has an energy, the address where you live, your phone number, the dates on the calendar, it's everything really. So it's very cool. There's like, okay, so like in astrology, you have a birth chart. In numerology, you have a chart, right? And there's 6 numbers. So like the first 3 numbers are derived from your name. So the energy of your name, and I'll get into the details of all of that to some degree. So those numbers you can change, right? You get married. If you want, you can change your name. So the energy changes, you know, or if you just decide you want to change your name, or your name's William, but you go by Bill, you know, whatever it is, you can change the energy of your name, which is really cool if you think about it, right? Especially if you, even if you don't believe in it, it's real. I mean, there's an energy to it, you know, and so you can manipulate that and use it to your advantage. The bottom 3 numbers, again, there's 6. The bottom 3 numbers, because it's lined up, you know, top to bottom, are from your date of birth. And so those are obviously with you forever, right? And I think I know this by heart, but again, I need to reference stuff so that I don't go sideways and later realize I said something wrong and then I'll be all upset about it. So you've got, when you do the, and I'll show the alphabet, you can line it up so that you have the whole alphabet and each letter is converted to a number 1 through 9. Just 1 through 9. And so when you do like your name, or let's say a street address or whatever it is, you take all the vowels and add those together and then reduce it down to the smallest number, right? So 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10, you know, whatever, you add it all up, say it comes up to 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, your number is 4, right? So that's your first number. And you do the same thing with the consonants. So the first, let's say you're doing your birth or your numerology chart, and you do your entire name. Like I'm Allison Lee Hicks was my maiden name, right? So you would write that all out. You do all the vowels, right? You add those up. That's going to be your soul number. You would then do all the consonants. That's your personality number. And then if you do all of them combined, that's your power number. And I'll tell you what those things mean in a minute. Then you do your birthday. So you do your full date of birth. The first one is your birthday number. Then it's your life path number. And that's the one that's the most important of all of these. This is kind of like your sun sign in astrology, right? And then the bottom one is your attitude number. And that's the month that you're born and the day. So like I'm March 21st. So it's 321, which adds up to a 6. So that would be my attitude number. And so, but anyways, all these things tell you about a person, not just yourself, but like if you want to look at your children or your mother or your spouse or whatever. So the first number, your soul number, describes what you feel inside, right? And again, this is part of the name. So this is what can be changed, the energy that can be changed. People may not see this part of your character, but you can feel it, right? That is your soul number. The personality number describes how people will perceive you. It's what you show the world. Now, and I reflected too, I just want to interject here. After I got married, my name changed. And there was a shift with that. And I don't believe it was just the fact that I was then married, but like writing that name, using that name, all of that. And any of you that have changed your name through marriage or otherwise, if you really think about it, you know, I don't know if any of you have noticed it or not, but like I said, I definitely did. The power name number, the third number that comes from your name, describes the strength of your name. So then you have the next three. Your birthday number describes the way others see you. So that would be like your rising sign in astrology, right? And your life path number describes the path your life must take in order for you to be happy. This is the most important number in your chart. And she uses an exclamation point. The life path part is so interesting. Any of you that are even mildly interested in this, you know, most good libraries, I shouldn't say good libraries in areas that are pretty like up to date and current and whatever will have something on on numerology. It's very fun to read about your life path. If you don't do anything with any of the rest of it, that's good. And the other thing that I've decided, I don't mean to jut off in another direction, but I want to say this in case I forget to say it. I don't do anything without running the numbers. I don't schedule an appointment. I don't meet somebody new. I don't go to the doctor. I don't do any of that stuff. And that's the one thing that I've really held on to, because I was really, really, really into this in the beginning, and I've kind of pulled back and kind of gone another direction to a degree, but that has stayed solid. Like I do that with everything. I always warn my son on certain days to be very careful. Don't get sloppy, you know, pay attention, you know, based on the numbers. And then the last number, I'm sorry, this is me. I jump all over the place. The attitude number describes your general attitude towards life. And that's your personality, or no, your attitude number. Yeah. So anyways, one thing I will, so the life path, I'll just talk about that for a minute. The life path, again, for anybody that's interested at all, you take your full birthday and you reduce it down to one digit. And so like a number one, if it breaks down to a one, you have like a leader mentality. And we don't have time, and I can't, and I wish I could, but like explain what that means, right? It's very, very interesting. A two is the mediator. And probably don't even need to explain what that means. Someone who's very fair and just and, you know, sticks up for the underdog and all that kind of thing. A three is a communicator, right? My son is a three. He's such a communicator. He's a talker and he's friends with everybody and he's a social butterfly and he's here and he's there and he's everywhere. And he's absolutely a three. Four is the teacher, right? Allie, you might even be a four. And so, she said, yeah. And so, you know, you are the teacher. Even if you're not a teacher, it's somebody who really wants to educate people and is always talking and explaining and directing and helping and wanting, you know, to share their knowledge and that kind of thing. And adventurers, the five, I'm a five. Absolutely. When you read about the five, and it's about freedom and change and everything else. And that's totally me. I don't like to be held down. I don't, you know, that kind of thing. A six is the nurturer. So someone who's very, very motherly, the mother hen, even if they're not like a mother to children, they're everybody's mom. They're organizing and hovering over and, oh, do you have this? And do you need, you know, and da, da, da. The faith seeker is a seven. I think I missed a digit. I'm sorry, you guys. Five is the adventurer. Six is the nurturer. Seven is the faith seeker. Very spiritually based, kind of feels like they were plopped on the planet, not really sure, you know, that they really fit in. Sometimes they're kind of like the odd one out, you know, kind of thing. I love sevens. The eight is the executive, very business minded, very serious.
That's not me.
And then
Yeah,
the
no,
nine
it's
is the
not me.
humanitarian. You're very much like, you know, you care about the planet, you care about others, and you want everybody to get along. You want everything to be okay. And again, the life path is not the only number in your chart. You've got multiple numbers, right? But very rarely do I see somebody where their life path number, unless their life went sideways somewhere and they've been removed from what their natural, you know what I mean? Like something's off. But it's really cool. There's so much to this, and I didn't want to. I wasn't sure how far to take all. Oh, and then something else. Your life path number, and this is true of the other numbers as well. But the numbers kind of go in pairs, or not pairs. I guess it would be groups. So like 3, 6, and 9 go together, natural matches. 1, 5, and 7. I don't think it's 2, 4, 8. I think it's 2, 4, 6. Or I mean, I don't think it's 2, 4, 8. I think it's 2, 4. But so like if you're like, say I'm a 5, I get along. It's called a natural match. Somebody that's a 1, a 5, and a 7. We just get along. It's like just, it's just automatic. It's like boom. You understand each other, no problem. And then the same is true for the other numbers. They'll have like 3, sometimes it's 4. It just depends on the number. Every number's different. Who they're compatible with. And then you also have people that you are neutral with. And then people that are a challenge. Just randomly, here I'm on 9. The humanitarian. 9s get along with 3s, 6s, and 9s. It's a natural match. They're compatible with 1, 2, and 5. And they have a hard time or a challenge with 4, 7, and 8. I have found this to be very true in my life. The numbers that I get on with immediately and the people that trigger me, they do. It's just, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
Which one am I? I'm 6.
You're a 6?
Would you mind looking it up?
No, not at all, honey. I'd love to look. Oh, you're the nurturer? Okay.
I can see that.
So natural match is 3, 6, and 9.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Compatible is 2, 4, and 8.
Okay.
Oh, and see, this one is in some of them, it kind of makes sense, and others, it's like kind of goes sideways. But, anyways, and the challenge is 1, 5, and 7.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And I can just read a little tiny bit, and then I'll give everybody an example about the 6. The 6th life path is the natural parent, viewing others from a paternal or maternal point of view. A 6th life path goes along with love and marriage like the proverbial horse and carriage. There is a nurturing quality to the 6. If the 6 can't have children, chances are they'll teach school children or run a big business and treat their employees like children. If a 6th life path woman divorces, she often throws herself into the lives of her children and has difficulty ever seeing them as grown-ups. In her mind, her son or daughter will be a child forever. Of course, now and again, I'll meet a 6th man who says he has no desire for children. When I hear this, I automatically ask him if he has any pets. That's when he'll light up like a proud parent and tell me all about his cat, dog, horse, etc. And so I could go on and on and on, but it's so funny.
Yes.
Most times the life path, and it's funny because there's only 9 of them, but most times people, they if they're being honest, they do really identify with it.
Allie,
there's always going to be exceptions, of course.
Allie, for me, I got an 8, and I've always loved the shape, the style of the 8. Come to find out, it's my life number. But you said executive and business oriented. That is nothing.
Sure. First, double check your birthday.
I'm an 8 too, Heather.
Correct.
I've done it multiple times here. I even broke down, and I'm getting an 8, and I'm like, yes.
Okay, what's your birthday? What's your birthday?
12/6/70, 1970. And I took each number 1 and 2, 3. 0.
Okay, hold on one second.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm an 8 too. So
I've done some business, selling jewelry and whatnot, but not like, I don't know.
Well, that's funny. 8 is my favorite.
Well, it's okay, Heather. I mean, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't.
It does, but it doesn't.
So let me read, and then Sherry, you're an 8.
Yep, I'm an 8.
Okay, I'll read just a little tiny bit about the 8. The 8's life lesson is to establish financial security. So there you go, Heather.
That's something I do not have.
The life's lesson is to establish financial security.
Something I've seeked all my life and never got to yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
I think
what I
it does apply.
read it out. Yeah.
I would say it absolutely applies. And so here it says, this is not to say that 8s are materialistic. It's just that the 8 life path seeks the freedom that comes from being financially stable. They don't like the fact that money can be so elusive, So they find ways to keep the money coming in so they'll never be without. Because of this, there are a lot of 8s who are millionaires, but who never spend a penny of it. They'd rather keep the money in the bank where it's safe. Then there is the other kind of 8. Whenever they have money, they feel the need to spend it all.
Yep.
That's me.
Art supplies, tarot
I
cards.
spend it as fast as I get it.
So,
Five Guys.
yeah. Anybody else want me to read just a tiny little bit, or I'm
Thank
happy
you,
to?
Allie. I appreciate that.
Well, you haven't done
Yeah.
a 1. Do a 1.
Yes. Oh, 1s are awesome. Are you a 1?
I'm a 1.
Yeah, 1s are great. But I'm a 5. I love 1s, right? So
There you go.
Okay, so the 1 life path is someone who is self-motivated, independent, and hard worker. They have a fierce competitive desire to be the best and almost always succeed. Unfortunately, they never believe they're as good as they really are because of what I call their inner bully. This is the nonstop voice of criticism in their head telling them they're not good enough. Despite all of the achievements, this voice demands, I'm not going to say what it says. They are extremely critical of themselves and expects others to live up to their incredibly high standards. If they are disappointed, they are quickly to judge. Blah, 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 blah. Now, this is probably the exception of people that are spiritual, because I think you've overcome that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And yeah, but you can identify with it. And I think that's really cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a time when, yes, I was my own worst critic.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. You kind of, those are hurdles. You overcome them.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if you keep reading, again, I'm not going to sit here and read them all because we can't, but there is a section in there about if you evolve and da, 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 da. So I'll just read a little tiny bit of the 5. I'm the 5. The 5 life path loves freedom, fun, and adventure. They love variety. They might take a different route to work each day just because they get so bored easily. That's very true. This vibration needs constant stimulation. They like passion. Escape is the name of the 5's game. Of all the life paths, 5s are the most likely to escape through sex, food, drugs, alcohol, travel, or overwork, through anything. The average 5 life path male does not get married early, and if they do, they often get married more than once. The first marriage is often short-lived because they don't want to feel tied down. They need to feel it's their world, and if a woman holds on too tightly or is too needy, blah, 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 blah. This is all about men. This is also true for the 5 life path woman. She cannot stand a man who clings to her. This is so true. The woman's message is very simple. Don't control me. If you give your 5 sweetheart plenty of space, he or she will almost always come back to you. And that's very true. So anyhow, there's like 3 or 4 pages on each life path number, but all the numbers, it's got like a little thing to read about. It's very, very interesting. And for anybody who, I'll just say this part too, for anybody that's just kind of sort of interested in like doing their numbers for their birthday or whatever, or I mean for their name, because this really is cool. You take the, I'll show you guys in the screen if I can, and I'm going to say it out loud too, because I know this is annoying and it's not working very well. So, all you do is you write on a piece of paper is you go 1 through 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 9. And you would start with A, obviously. So A, B, C, D, and you're going to put that directly underneath through 9. So you're going to end with I, right? So A through I is 1 through 9. And then you start over again with J, K, L, M, N, right? So 1s are AJS. 2s, BKT. Does this make sense? Okay. So that's just how you do it. You could do your name. Oh, you got to, yep. And you just do your name.
Oh, look at Miss Organized down there.
Yep. Perfect. Exactly. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And, but it's a lot of fun. If the Y is next to a consonant on both sides, it's considered a vowel.
Yeah.
Okay. And if a Y is next to a vowel on either side, it's a consonant. Okay. So, like in my name, I have a Y, and it's got a, I don't have a vowel on either side though. So, but anyhow, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. Like you have, like for me, I'm a 5. So like 157 days are the best. Like if I schedule something, I want it to break down to a 1, a 5, or a 7. So like if I'm going to go to the dentist, I'm going to go to the doctor,
Yeah.
whatever. And so, and I find it to be, I find it to be a good thing to do for sure.
What's the name of the author again of that book, Allison?
Sure. Her name is Glynis, Glynis.
Okay.
And it's McCants, McCants. I don't know if it's showing very well. Oh yeah, it's showing.
Yes, it's really good.
You can
Okay.
see the dust jackets. So I am.
Yeah.
This is one of the few books, because I don't write in my books. One of the few books I went ahead and wrote with pencil, and I've written in this book. But anyhow, and I don't want to yammer too much, but it's a lot of fun. You can use it in your life in a lot of ways. Especially your house number, the number on your home. That's another thing that it's kind of a big deal, because I'd moved so many times and I want the energy to be compatible. You can also fudge it though. Like if you're living in a house that's not your energy, you can put a numeral on the other side of the door in the same area wherever the house number is on the house to balance it out. And again, numbers that are compatible with you. Like I was reading Vanna's numbers off to her. So, like living in a 369 vibration would be best for her. But then each number has positives and negatives as well. Like people living on the positive of their number, like threes are a lot of fun, and they can party, and they're really adventurous and friendly and this and that and whatever. And they can also go broke.
Yeah.
So like a 3 house, like a 3 address, a number that breaks down to a 3, people are, they really got to keep an eye on their finances, where they're putting their money, what's going on with it, that kind of thing. So, but anyways, I'll just leave it at that.
Cool.
Well, can I ask a
Unless
quick
anybody
question?
has any questions.
Oh yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the master numbers, like 11, 22, and 33?
She does not go into that.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you so much, because I wouldn't even have thought to mention it. She, actually, no, she does mention it. She doesn't really use it, and she explains why. But again, I read this book like 20 years ago. I can't remember. Hold on. Let me find the part, because I know she does reference it in here.
Okay.
Quick question: when you're doing like your address, is
Yeah.
it just for like the street number and apartment number, or is it also
Good question.
including
So you
zip
can,
code, or
if you want, you can do the entire thing. Like you can do your house number. Your house number is the biggest part of it. But if you
Right.
also wanted to break down your street name, you can, but that's like a, what does she call that? That's like a lower, it's there, but it's not nearly as pronounced. It's like a very soft energy that's there. The number that is plastered on your front of your house next to your door, that's the energy that's really there, right? Like the street's going to have an energy, but the street name, it's there, but it's not on your house.
well, it's like
not,
I'm in an apartment complex,
Mhm.
so it's the number and the street name,
Same with me.
apartment
So
number,
I have
blah, blah, blah.
I have my building number, and then I
Mhm.
also have my apartment number. Thankfully,
Yes,
they're
I
both
didn't think about that.
compatible, and they even break down to a number that's very good for me. And that was not by mistake. It was how I determined where I'm living, actually. And but no, it would be both. It would be the building, and it would also be the apartment number, and then you combine them, and that's your number. That's a good question, because I would
Okay,
I
just
totally
the building
forgot.
and the apartment number.
You know what's so funny? You said numbers that I'd be really good with are 3, 6, and 9. And the house I grew up in, where my mom still lives, the address is 369.
Is it?
That's
Which
like
breaks
crazy.
down, I think, to a 9, right? Did you add it up? 12, 13, 14, 15 would be a 6 plus 3 would be a 9. Yeah. Yep.
And we lived in Arizona. I lived in Arizona at a 1515, and then moved to New Hampshire briefly,
3.
and it was 1515. And now
That's
this
a
place we're
3.
at now has a 15 in it. So it's really weird how some recent
Yeah.
addresses have 15 in it. I thought that was like weird.
I
Yeah,
have
we
to
took
tell you,
3.
anytime that I have lived in a house, I always do the numerology because I lived in a 5, and a 5 is deception. And I had a
It can
husband
be,
cheating
yeah.
on me. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
a husband cheating on me there. And I also lived in a 1, and everybody was every man for himself, and everybody was really selfish, and it really was that way.
Sounds like my
Right, and
place
that's
right
on
now
the
with the
And I'm
negative,
living in a
right?
1.
There's the positive
Mhm.
of the vibration and the
Yeah.
negative on the vibration. Like I'm in a 1 apartment. I wanted to be in a 1 because
Uh-huh.
I was working on me. I was going to be single. It was just going to be me. And then when my son was here, I had a 2 on the inside of the door to make it a 3. And I'm very, very good about money, so I wasn't worried about that. And it would be
Uh-huh.
it'd be a balanced, happy energy here, and it was. And as soon as I went off to college, I took it down. I'm like 1.
Mhm.
So let's see. I'm looking. I know there's something in here. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for Yvonne. I want to find that 1122. I know it's in here. I'm looking at the table of contents. She does talk about it.
You can just Google master numbers.
Well, no,
and
she
you can
knows
find
what it
out
is. She was just
online.
wondering what Glynis had to say, I think. Anyways, yeah, I won't. I'll email it to you. I know it's in here. It's just not
Oh yeah,
jumping
no
out at
worries.
me. But anyhow, was there anything else? Nobody? Because we can go into questions if there's any questions in the chat. If there's nothing else.
I can't think of anything right now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. I was looking for the number, but she just said the way she worded it, I wouldn't have seen it. Master numbers. I get a lot of questions about master numbers from people who are born on the 11th or the 22nd day of the month. Often they want to know why I don't talk more about master numbers, because somewhere along the way they've heard these are very special days to be born. In some ways, they are right. The master numbers 11 and 22 do carry a particular power, which I will go into later. But first, let's see. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What does it mean when you have a master number in your chart? It means quite simply that you should not kick back and relax in this lifetime. You have work to do.
You already know that. We're the
You have
master
work
numbers.
to do. You have the power to make a difference, and your time on this earth can be used for a higher purpose.
They don't let you
So-
sit down.
Yeah.
So light a candle, meditate, and ask the universe what it is you are here to do.
And they will tell you.
Will you serve a greater purpose through teaching or writing thought-provoking books? Are you
And they will
going to
make
do it by designing wonderful buildings? Will you find a cure for a disease? The bottom line for the master numbers 11 and 22 is you often have a brilliant mind and you need to put it to use.
Oh, you
Okay,
can't-
Allison,
you can't not
can
put
you-
it to use.
Can you tell people when you put your name together, that's not your life purpose. What is that?
Yeah,
Because the only thing that's life purpose is your date of birth, and then everything
right. I
else.
did
is what-
talk about it, but I'm happy to go
I
right
know.
back to it.
No, somebody's asking the
make
question.
sure
That's
that
Yeah, I
right.
think
Yeah,
it's some
right.
of the
Sure.
latecomers coming in.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the soul number is all the vowels. The personality is all the consonants. And putting it all together, which would be your whole name, right? The vowels and the consonants is your power name number,
Uh-huh.
which is. Did I already go by it? Just try, yeah, it's the full strength of your name. So it's both what you feel inside, how people, what people may not see about you, and it's how people perceive you and what you show the world. It's both of those things together.
Okay.
So like
Thank
if you went into business, it like feel like your name, like some people's like like my son's name, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what the numbers are, but it doesn't really matter. You know how names, or well, I get this anyway. Not everybody does, because I've talked to a couple people about this, and they just kind of look at me. But look who I'm sitting here with. I'm sure you guys will get this. So you know how you'll hear certain names, and it just they care. Well, they all do to me. Carry an energy. Just
Yep.
the name. Forget it. You don't even know the person. You read a name on a piece of paper. You know, and
Yep.
it really says something. I chose my son's name, Wyatt, because I just thought it was so powerful. It was so masculine. It was strong. Also, I wanted something old and something that couldn't easily be abbreviated. I didn't want people chopping his name in half and calling him something else.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I feel differently about a lot of stuff because I'm ever changing. That's how I am. But anyhow, I named him Wyatt, and it's Wyatt Adam, and I thought that was such a strong name. And then I'll see other names, and you just male and female, and you just have instant, like you know, your brain just chatters. You have thoughts about that. You have feelings about that. I won't say what they are, but there's 2 different male names that whenever I hear those names, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but I am human, and I just kind of go, ooh. Because I just know that person, and I obviously sometimes this is not going to be true, but often that person with that name is just bad news. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over. And there's something to that.
Especially what's
Probably
repeated
true
in
with
your
women
life.
as well. I haven't noticed any name with that, but that just comes forward. There's 2 male names that every single time throughout my life that I've come into contact with people with that name.
Here's the thing.
Not good.
If you go into the bigger picture of what frequencies are, what energies are, and they are numbers, you can look at when you see the 1111 or the 222 on a clock or 323. It's sacred geometry. There is a mathematical formula of the universe.
Sure.
It's like the matrix. Everything's a code. It's zeros and ones. It all adds up to different frequencies and information.
Yeah.
So it resonates at a certain frequency.
Exactly.
That's what is the real heart of what this is. It's not just about your name or whatever, but you're saying when people come to you and they have a certain name, they are vibrating at a certain rate with that name.
Yes.
And whatever energy they're bringing in, and that's affecting you.
And I didn't want to go into this, and I won't. I'll just say this one thing. Pythagoras, as long ago as this was, and that's not what this is, but it dips into that to some degree. He talks about that very thing that you're describing. He knew about that way back then.
Yeah.
He was also talking about how everything can be broken down to a number, and everything has an energy. Everything.
Time.
And it's that thing right there.
Everything is like binary code.
Yeah. Yep.
Break it all out.
Well, I have a question, but I think Ivana had a question too.
And whether if you think that you know we all appeared, the universe appeared for divine purpose, or if it was just 2 whatever smashing together and bang, here we all were. It's truly fascinating to me when you delve into the universes as a whole, and I believe that there are many more than just one. Just the way everything fits mathematically.
The Fibonacci sequences
He
and
talks
things
about
like
that too.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not a math person. I'm not. I mean,
Not either.
I've always been good at kind of remembering numbers, just especially if numbers are assigned to people, like to my patients or something like that. I would recall their number before I would remember their name because I'm horrible with names. But when it comes to mathematics, forget it. I can't add without a calculator. But now my brother is majored in math. He teaches math. My husband was the same way. He could add up 4 and 5 digit numbers faster in his head than you could do it on a calculator and be correct all the way down to the nth degree, you know, and it just boggles my mind how people do that. I mean, and you look at mathematic formulas, especially the more advanced you get, where it's mostly just symbols and letters and stuff. And it's like, I look at it, I think, how is this math? There's not a number up there. but it's because it all stands for something, numbers too big to compute, I guess. And it's just amazing to me how it all, everything wraps around numbers and time.
I just want to say this one thing, that this is a Pythagoras thing, and it's coming back to all this, and we're all saying basically the same thing. This one sentence, and I did already read little bits of this. I just want to read the whole thing. It's only a couple sentences. It says, Pythagoras started his own formal school of philosophy in Croton, Italy, around 525 BCE. The first tenet of the Pythagorean society was that at its deepest level, reality is mathematical in nature. Pythagoras believed that the world was built on the power of numbers. Everything that was seen and unseen could be reduced to numbers. But I love that the first tenet of the Pythagorean society was that at its deepest level, reality is mathematical in nature. And that just comes back to like what Val was talking about and all of it. It's fascinating.
Yep. It is.
That's why they say spirituality and science can't fit together. They're too separate, but they're interconnected. You can't have one without the other. And that goes to prove it right there when you break everything down. With fractals, I've been learning about, and like the binary codes and things. Exactly. Everything is reflected mathematically. So you can have the spiritual and the science together, and they can both complement each other.
There's one more thing. Let me just read this and then I'll stop. This is right under it, and I missed it. So it was what I just said, and then it continues on just a few more sentences. This is interesting. During his time, Pythagoras, it was widely accepted that the universe was created from vibrating energy, something the modern scientist might call a wavelength or electromagnetic energy. The characteristics of this energy could be understood through numbers. Each number vibrated in a certain way, and at its core, all matter is made up of this vibrating numerological energy. Since Pythagoras taught that each number had a numerical attribute that was unique, all it would take to understand the qualities of a person, place, or thing would be to know which numbers made up its vibrating energy. I think it's fascinating. This guy lived 2,500 years ago.
Yeah.
And it says during his time, it was widely accepted that the universe was created from vibrating energy.
That's before the patriarchal religions actually.
Right.
Before the church got involved.
Right.
Yeah, got involved.
This is when it was pagan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and back in the day, what were known as alchemists are now known as astrophysicists, or as, any of the other multiple types of scientists that are out there that study all this stuff. It's just a different terminology that's used. Sorry, Marie, I didn't mean to step over you. I didn't realize you had started talking.
One of the things that I did when I was trying to think of a channel name was I had several written down, and I did do the numerology on all of them. And Heart Center Tarot was built for success. I then did the same thing for when I was going to launch it. And the number that I picked that worked best was actually one of my niece's birthdays. And again, it was success. So, yeah. I don't know a lot about numerology. It's kind of like astrology. I know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to really explain it to someone. But it does have an energy, and it does work. Absolutely, it does.
And you know what's funny is that, like, someone like me, not funny, it's just, I'm just realizing it now, especially after hearing you say that, Marina, is that, and I use it as much as the amount that I use it now is the amount that I've used it for years. Again, I use it with numbers and dates and that kind of stuff, but I don't do the alphabetical translation with stuff. I just don't. I don't know why. Yes, I've done my name, you know, and I've done people that I meet and whatever, and that's pretty much where I leave it with the alphabet. But the numbers, I run the numbers, like the actual numbers, all the time. And I don't know why that is. I just was realizing that. So I thought I'd say it out loud. It's like, oh, interesting. Like you're talking about naming your channel. It's like, but it comes back to the energy thing. It was how it felt. What does it feel like? Right.
Exactly.
So,
and I was going to ask you that, Allie, because initially your channel was Aries Grove Virgo Moon, and then you changed it. Did you like the energy better with Aries Grove Tarot?
No, what I did with that is I just felt like it was too long and too wordy. And so for me, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool when it was just just something that I signed on to watch stuff. But then when I was going to actually start loading content, I wanted it to be shorter because I thought people would take the time to read it. Which because everybody's so instant gratification. Everything needs to be fast. And
I've been told my name is too long. Yeah, I've been
What's
told
that?
I've been told my channel's name is too long. I should shorten it, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
you
like
do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just do whatever you want. But for me, yeah, that's what it was. Also, I wanted it to say tarot. And so I was like, well, and I looked at it and I contemplated for a while. And then ultimately I wanted to change it even further, but I was like, no, it's fine. Just shorten it, put the tarot in there. And
Heather, your channel name fits you and your channel. I mean, it may be a little bit longer, but my channel name's long too.
Some people have read it a lot and go, boy, that's a name full. And I'm like,
yeah, I've seen some that are really long.
Longer than that. So yeah.
I
mean, I've been thinking about changing it, but
just what resonates with them, right?
Yeah.
Just like we're all different numbers. It's like what feels good to you, what makes sense to you.
Yeah. Remember the show? There was an awesome show on TV years ago. It was called Numbers. And it was
I love that show.
The guy from Northern Exposure. I can't think of his name right now. Something Murray. I mean, that was a great show. Everything his brother could break down everything into a mathematical equation.
Oh no.
Yeah, the older brother was like a cop or a detective or something.
His brother was FBI.
And the younger brother was like a super brainy
savant, obviously.
Savant type, yeah.
Peter Nichols was in it too.
University, and it was a really good show. I used to love that show.
It's numbers, and the E is spelled with a 3.
Yeah.
Check it out, Allison. I think you might love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Show. 5 seasons, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, it was on for a little bit. It was a good show.
That was the only time I could appreciate numbers. I was watching that show.
Yeah, I'm kind of like what Sherry said. I could, from as far back as I could remember sequences of numbers, no matter how long they were. So, my dad used to say, I don't need a phone book. Marina will, and it was almost like a party trick. What so-and-so's number, did it rattle it off. But when it came to actually doing math, we did not get along. That's one of the reasons I'm an English major, not a math major.
Yeah.
Math is hard for a lot of people. My son is struggling with math right now in college. He's always had a hard time with math. And it's like, and I told him, I was like, you know what? Because he's old enough now. I'm like, you know what? You're probably always going to struggle with math. A lot of people do. It's just the way that it is. Don't beat yourself up about it. Because he kind of feels kind of bad about it. I'm like, don't.
Oh, don't. I took
probably half the population struggles with math. Well, he looks at me because I'm regular math. We're talking like addition, subtraction, multiplication in my head. I don't have any problems with that at all. But then, harder math, because I'm talking about math. But like he's doing, kind of some advanced math, and I just, I'm like, it's not. A lot of people have a hard time with math. It's nothing unique.
Yeah, I couldn't get my Regents diploma because all my math classes had to be the lower level math. I couldn't do the calculus and all that stuff, so I couldn't graduate with a.
It took me 5 semesters just to get through algebra.
I took a whole semester off from college.
Math is not my strong point.
Algebra. got in because for Buffalo State, you had to answer. You had half an hour to answer approximately 30 algebra questions, and you had to get at least 24 of them right, and you only had half an hour to do it. And so at the end of my, of getting all my other classes out of the way, I had to do a full semester of tutoring to be able to knock out and get my degree just because of algebra. It was ridiculous, but you know, I did it. So, but still, it is hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And then there's some like my dad who could, math to him was like magic. It was, he could and he was a tool and die maker, master machinist. So, numbers were his big thing. But he could look um, at something that was made or whatnot, and he would say, "No, I don't think that's straight. That's 1/1000th off." And you would go and look, and yeah, he'd be right in that range. Like, no, it doesn't look right to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just
That
like
was my mother. She was great with math. She was a waitress, and she would get so frustrated with me because she goes, "Well, if this is what it was, and this is what they gave you, you just come back to it." And I could not. I could never, and she'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh," and then sometimes I would get your
Oh, count back change is. See, now that's something I never had a trouble with when because I've done jobs where, yeah, you get paid. There was no register to and give you the answer
Yep.
what you pay back to them. You had to count it back, and I was good at that, but not at adding it up.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to hear that, Heather, because that's terrible. That's the last thing a parent should be doing, and how they should be reacting about that.
She was supportive of me with everything else, but
I'm just saying, anytime when a kid's trying to learn something, you can't. That's just my opinion. Like with my son, I would never do that. You have to be supportive. You have to be understanding, and you just explain it in a different way. I will say this though, in this day and age, kids can't count back money. They don't know how. I don't know how many times I've had exchanges, but we're completely getting away from money. There's not even going to be any money soon, so it's really not going to matter. They're not even teaching cursive in school anymore. So,
well, just like they can't tell time on a clock with hands.
Yeah.
No, well, those are going to be gone too. Those are all going to be antiques. They're not even going to be anywhere but your grandma's house.
I do not like crypto. I hope that's not the way we go.
The whole world is changing. Yep.
Absolutely.
It's scary.
Are we going to answer any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Do we have time to do a few?
Yeah, we can certainly do a few. And you know what? Thank you so much, Allison, for doing this, because numerology.
Very interesting. I've always been interested.
Absolutely.
I've got a book somewhere on numerology. I think it's in a box.
I know I jumped around a bit.
I have so many books I didn't unpack all of them.
I didn't have a chance to get prepared and whatever, but hopefully people got the gist of it. And if you're interested, like I said, most libraries will have at least one book on numerology. I was shocked. My library has
even if it's in the
same tarot and like witchcraft and everything else. I was shocked and like, wow, very, very cool.
Yeah, because you're not,
the libraries are with it.
In school. Yeah,
some of them down with the cool kids. So yeah,
well, the ones that still have control over what they put on their shelves.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm an Ann Arbor.
Very eclectic and what is there, but
nobody's going to do anything to our books here. That's for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, our library, and I'm in the deep South, and our library, public libraries, were just starting to do the drag queen story hours. And they actually had a couple of evenings, where local drag queens came in full costume and and the kids loved it. They absolutely just sucked it up. They were so thrilled with it, and talking to them about how did you do your hair like that, and why did you wear a wig this time, and it was like questions that you would ask, say somebody dressed like a clown or dressed like a monster in a movie or something. They didn't look at it as something threatening. They looked at them as something kind of cool. And how did you look like that? what did you do to make your eyes look that way, or
Yeah.
make your hair do that, and then turn around
I'd
after
love
like
to
2 or
take
3
some
weeks.
makeup lessons from drag queens because
Yeah.
they do such a beautiful job.
Oh, I know.
See
I
any
mean,
questions in the chat.
I
get
got a couple in
jealous.
my pocket. If I need help with clothing and stuff, that's who I call. I was like, okay, you got to put this together for me because I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it lasted, I think, like they did it like two or three times before the local evangelical extremists went berserkos and started protesting and whatnot and got it shut down. And
Just really quick, are we do we have a question? Are we going to do a general?
I haven't seen
I don't
any.
see anything. I mean, we can do a general. It looks like nobody has any questions, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe we
Good.
could do like a
That's good.
collective. A collective
was-
where they draw one card for the collective.
They were
All right.
saying here they wanted us to pull some cards further up. I had posted
Oh.
that for you to look at. So
Oh, so there are questions,
a
Alex.
general is fine.
Oh, I
General is
scrolled
fine.
back. I didn't see any. Okay, cool.
We lost Yali.
Oh, we lost Allie. Okay.
Oh,
So do we have the questions? Or are we just still going to do a general?
Do we want to start with a general and then we'll see who actually is still around and
sure.
Sure.
Okay.
okay. So we're just drawing like a regular message for the group, I guess.
For the collective. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So this is interesting. Okay.
Oh, there she is.
I
thought
got
we
kicked
lost
out
you, Allie.
somehow. Yeah, I don't know
Oh.
what happened. What are we doing? A general? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we've
Just
been having
one or
problems with
what?
our connections today.
Are we pulling one or more than one? What are we pulling?
I got 3. I mean, typically that's the energy for me when I pull
Yeah.
3. And I'm all set if you want me to go, Allison. Okay. So the first card I got was, and we're just talking about clocks, TikTok. So paying attention to the times. Okay, the times we're moving into. Yeah, I'm looking at these cards exactly. So it's, we're looking at the time. I know with things going on in the world, even in our personal lives, worried about how are we going to, you know, timing, getting people to school, getting to work. When is, indictments going to come in? When is the war going to end? Kind of things like that that quite can't be put, really to cards in a time-wise space. But we're focusing a lot on what's going on TikTok. When's this going to take care of? When this is going to stop? Kind of like mentality. But then I got no place like home, which is reminding us that we have home. It's our sanctuary to be present on what's going on in our own home, how we can make our lives better for our family, our friends, our local community. And the last card, just perfect ending, is breathe. Just through everything that's going on in these rough times, just remember to, focus in on your home, deep breathing, and know that, things will come to pass. And, we need to stay grounded and focused and in a good place, because if we're not in a good place mentally for ourselves, we can't be that for anybody in our loved ones and our family. But we too need to be reminded that we need to come first as well. We need to do it not just for everybody else, but for us, most importantly.
Okay, yeah, I pulled one card. I actually went to the surrender deck and I got surrender to creativity. And it says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And I really like the card because she's holding a mirror. There's a butterfly there, but she's reflecting like almost the universe from herself and reflecting herself back into the universe. And in that mirror are more butterflies, which is like transformation and just letting those creative ideas soar. And yeah, I just think it's just a nice card for tonight.
Okay, I drew one from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. and it's into me I see. And at first I thought it was going to just mean looking at yourself. Sorry. But actually it's talking about making those intimate kind of connections with others, allowing yourself to open up and connecting to those around you. So it's not just yourself you're looking into, it's opening yourself up to connect to other people so that you can see one another and who you truly are.
Okay, I can go. These were from the Sacred Destiny deck, and I pulled 3 cards, and it was, yeah, funny how they came out. The first one is Wonders. The second one came out was Love. And the last one that came out was Truth. And immediately what I got from that was there are so many wonders that are in the universe, are in the world, that, you know, sometimes we don't see all the beauty that there is. So we need to pay a little more attention to all the beautiful things that are there. But not only that, but do things with love and always be in truth. You know, that those, it's funny, but those 2 things will never, ever, ever let you down. Yeah. Working from a place of love and living in a truth. So I thought they're kind of meshed with what you guys said. Alrighty, I'm done.
You want to go, Val?
Sure. I've got building blocks. So creating yourself anew, fulfilling soul contracts, getting yourself situated where you're coming from your higher self. Just remembering who you are down here in this earth school. So that's why we're going through so much right now. Just clearing, revisiting old things for that space to remember who we really are.
Awesome. Okay, so I pulled one, and it happens to be a 22, which is a master number. And it's open your heart. It's open your heart. No one's perfect. Stop judging yourself and others, and let love heal the situation. We have to stay in love. Absolutely stay in love. And especially right now, some people are saying they're feeling very unsettled. And it's all the energies that we're dealing with, the double eclipse energy, the new moon energy, and we're having a lot of solar storms. So please be patient with yourself. You're okay. We're all in it together.
Totally.
And the whole Mercury retrograde thing. My moon is in Virgo and I'm a Gemini rising, so all that Mercury, and normally I don't know, sometimes I don't really, this time it's like, yeah, it's something, it's a weird time, and I'm in Aries, right? And there's this whole air, anyways, yes, there's a lot going on. I'm doing pretty good though, but yeah. So I got and this kind of reminds me of Val's, which happens a lot, but I got awaken, empower. This is about waking up to whatever it is that's within you that is your power that you're not doing for whoever this is for, right? So like and I'm part of this too. This is a personal message as much as this is a group message. It's about get on it. You know, there's more there that you can dig into and be, you know, working on. There's power there that has not been tapped into, awoken. I know. Yes, I know. There's only so many hours in the day.
TikTok.
The days of the week.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
I know. I hear you. and then also these came out together next to it, so I'm just feel prompted for whoever this is for. And this could, actually this can all tie in together, but I got motivation and depth and commitment. They all came out together. They just spilled it on the table. So if you read that together, that's about getting the motivation to commit to something that you need to dive into and be working on. So actually it does kind of all go together, but it can absolutely be two separate messages. So this is about stopping, avoiding, and finding the motivation and to commit to something that you need to go deep on.
Yeah, this is the new moon, so it is a good time to do that. Digging deep, starting something new.
That's
new
really
seeds,
well, yeah. Full moon for sure, letting go of stuff and digging. But new moon, yeah, starting new stuff. This awaken. This is new moon energy right here. Yes, and I hear it, and yes, I need to do that. Maybe I could spend a little time on that this weekend. And look, and these both have, well, these are full moons though. These aren't new moons, but yeah, I love this deck. Oh, who got the deck? Was it Marina?
Yes.
Have you played with it at all?
I have.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Awesome. Okay, good. I was just wondering. It's so pretty too.
Oh, in fact, I was showing it to a friend of mine that was over yesterday, and she is a psychic medium. And yeah, she was going through them and commenting on what good energy they were. So yeah. And the artwork on them is absolutely beautiful.
It is. They're gorgeous. And and again, I know I've said this before, but like guidebooks, I always just kind of go, yeah, and just pitch it and don't even look at it. That one's very interesting, right? Because it talks about each plant, and it's just so that one's kind of cool. I don't know if you really looked at the guidebook or not, but if you didn't, I would look at it.
Not deeply, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't even look at guidebooks, but that one, that's a good one. There's a lot of info there. So, and about the animal in each one. Actually, anyways, cool.
Put the numbers together of all the cards that I got, and I got a 1. And you said ones are kind of a rough, right? We're moving into kind of the energy of a number 1. So I took the numbers off my cards that I got, 30, 50, and 29, and I got the number 1. So ones are, you said numbers.
Leadership.
Leadership. Okay, so we're moving into,
It's just like mine. The card that I had pulled is also a number 8, and I'm an 8 life path. So
yeah,
I didn't even think to look at that until somebody else said it. I was like, we have 2 questions pop up if we have time for them.
I'm game. I'm
game.
Yep.
Val, does that work for you?
Let's see if I can find them.
I was muted. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. We had one from Jenny Strouch, who wanted to know she's leaving on her next assignment as a travel nurse. How will it go?
Oh, cool. Thanks, Val.
A travel nurse.
I'm leaving on my next assignment. I'm a travel nurse. How will it go?
Did Allie leave us?
There's a crotchety
she might got popped up.
lady. That's Jenny. That's there. She comes across as being crotchety and nasty. She really isn't. She just a little bit of a challenge. So when you face her, just know that it's nothing personal. That's just the way she is. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. Just when you come across that little old lady that just likes to complain about everything. Not enough salt on the food. Not this, not that. Yeah.
Okay, I got one here. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So you're already overthinking it, and you haven't even left yet for your new job. So don't overthink it. Just step back and let it just go with the flow. And like Marina said, just let what happens roll on by you. Don't let it bother you.
Yeah, I got something similar with the cherry got. I mean, first one I got, it was the 7 of Wands, kind of, fighting things. But I just think it's just overthinking it, analysis paralysis, overthinking it, because you come out really as the leader. It ends up being a good assignment. You learn, you know, you just have a great time, and it's just fine. It just works out fine. But also working and using your intuition as you move through this assignment will help guide you. And then the last card that I got, actually, I pulled a clarifying card and I got flow. Just go with the flow.
Yep.
It's funny how my cards mirror that so much. I got chaos and conflict, which is that first
So
one,
did
a
I.
little crotchety.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
here it is. It's a new life for you. You know, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Thinker, quit thinking so much about it.
Well,
Yeah,
you know
makes
me,
sense.
I picked 3 cards, and you're not going to believe what came up. TikTok, no place like home, and wait for it. Guess what the next one is? Breathe. It's the exact same 3 cards, and you all saw me shuffle.
Yeah.
So Jenny, I think too that might have been initially when I heard that there was a question and I was shuffling, that might have been what the cards were. They were meant for you, and they came up again because they were meant for you.
Yeah.
So TikTok, it may take some time to get adjusted for them to warm up to you,
Yeah.
but soon, no place like home, you're going to fit right in. And in the meantime, just breathe, relax, things will work out. And like everyone's saying, go with the flow. That's just, yeah.
Oh, and Allie had to leave.
Yeah, she must have had to.
Yeah,
her
she can only
daughter-
do an hour usually.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So,
All right.
did everybody read?
Nope, I gotta go.
Okay.
So something's gonna happen, or this is just you with what's happened in the past. We have 5 of Wands here, which is probably why you're asking or even questioning, right? But Queen of Wands, 2 of Cups, you know, you're sitting in your power, you know what to do, obviously. But something is gonna happen, but you're gonna handle it and you're gonna take charge. And so I think that, and again, I only did the 5 cards, but I mean, doing that line of work, and my mom was a nurse for 30 years, not a traveling nurse, but she was a nurse. And I mean, stuff happens, it arises, you take care of business and you move on. I mean,
Yep.
You're going to be fine. And you're coming up as the Queen of Wands. I mean, hello. I mean, You're fine. You got this. So, will there be stuff that happens? Yeah, there is, but it's all going to work out. So, yep.
Oh, good.
So then the next one, creative love. Can you see what I'm going through this week? Been a bit snappy and off.
Welcome to my world.
Like we were just talking about, there's only about 50 things going on in the stars right now. So
What?
That explains my work
Join the
week. Brittany.
crowd.
Love is like all of us.
And it's only Wednesday.
What does that say? Create love. We don't have a name, right? Is that what that
Create
says?
love.
Create
Create
love.
love, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm getting, as I'm sort of shuffling the cards, I haven't picked any, was that you have kind of you have said yes to something that in retrospect you really don't want to do, like whether it's going to a particular meeting or meeting a particular person for coffee or whatever, and you're kind of angry at yourself a little bit that, why did I say yes? I'm always saying yes. Well, be gentle with yourself, as I've heard others say, and it's just go with the flow. Go with the flow. But in the meantime, yeah, the 6 of Wands, you're going to make it through this. It's fine. You're just kind of looking at the situation. You're looking at what you have said yes to, and yeah, you feel like you need to defend your position. You can change your mind. you could always call someone back and say, you know what, actually, Thursday doesn't work for me. Or I looked at my schedule, I'm a little overextended. Can we maybe talk about this later? Yeah. You can say no.
Yeah, I got something similar to Marina. The first card that I got was Ten of Fire. And if you see here, she's in the kitchen and it says overworked, stressed, and imbalanced. So you might
Yeah.
just be having one of those weeks as we all are. The challenge of I think you got this card too, the Seven of Fire, which says challenge, determination, and resistance. It's kind of your obstacle, feeling a
Yeah.
bit challenged. The outcome card though that I got for you is the moon. Using your intuition, you're going to get right through it. It's not going to be a problem. You know how to handle everything. And the clarifying card that I got um is really, I think, a nice way to wrap things up. It's wise woman of the grove, and it says grace, handling things with just grace and kindness, and the love that you have in your heart is just really going to guide you this week. Almost stepping back and just taking um a really soft, I'm going to say, outlook on things will really go far this week for you. Being soft to yourself too.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go.
Are you going to go, Sherry?
Yeah, I can go. The first one I pulled, create love. Get grounded. That's the first thing they're telling you to do. Get grounded. Connect yourself with nature. Get just take some time for you. And I mean, whether if it's just a bubble bath or a walk in the park or sitting out on your patio by yourself after everybody's gone to bed, just take a little bit of time for you and get grounded. And then I pulled the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. So whatever you've been working on, it's working its way together. It's all going to come out. You don't need to worry about it. Just get yourself grounded, put a little time into you, and everything else will follow right along. And then I pulled, you're already doing it. So again, that card comes up. You're already taking the steps. Just follow through and treat yourself. Give yourself a treat. Just a little kindness to you can go a long way. I'm
Yeah.
done.
And here's what I got. Loyal heart. And I mean that's almost like two levers, but I get for you that it's actually nurturing yourself and giving yourself time and space. Because the next card I got is go to the sea. And on this card, it's hard to see, there is a direction, north, south, west, and there's binoculars finding your way. And you're sitting in this beautiful, tranquil spot, and there are your guides sending energy down to you in this picture. And I think you're getting that's your nurturing, that's your food, your spiritual food that you need to give yourself that peace. And they're just telling you put one foot in front of the other, and it's all going to be okay. It's all going to work out.
Beautiful. Okay, I also, if I can go, I got create love, never ending story. I'm using the same deck as Valerie is. It's the Wisdom of
Mhm.
the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and she's actually, there's a little heart, and it says love and me, and it says yes and no, yes and no, and she's exhausted. It's like never ending story. Not again. Why is this happening? It could be have to do with work, something personal going on in your life. But what's really focusing on in this card is the love me down here that it says on the heart, and it going back and forth. Should I love me? Yes, no. So that's going to, it has to be a big yes, because when you choose yes, the next card is beautiful. You get new life, and you get, this beautiful, before she was exhausted, worn out, her wings are perking up, she's reached breaking out of her shell, she's got new ideas, new projects, things that she wants to do in life. And then the last card is almost the same as Val's. I got this a C card as well, but mine is Treasure Island. So it's
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that once you as you move forward with this new leaving everything behind, embracing love for yourself and what you want to do and not what anybody else thinks that you should be doing, but what brings you joy, what brings you passion. That turtle's carrying you right out to sea and taking you to that beautiful treasure island, all the gold. And also there's these little hearts too, little red hearts floating around above the chest. So you're golden. Stay golden. And I don't know why that came up because that was from a poem from The Outsiders. When they say, "Pony boy, stay golden," it's just keep that beautiful golden light of love for yourself and let that lead your way. That's interesting how that came out. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll go.
Okay.
So this is you being snappy. Here's the Queen of Swords. And I got the Hangman and the Three of Pentacles. So I think you're feeling you've changed a little bit. And maybe this is unconscious. Maybe you'll need to think about this. But I think how you feel about something the way you feel about something you committed yourself to has changed. Or you come to your senses and decided you don't want any part of that. So you're a little defensive and kind of pissed off. Maybe at yourself, maybe at the person you committed to, whatever it is. But Knight of Swords, you're gonna push back. There's some pushback there. And I did clarify the Knight of Swords, and I got the Hermit, and I got the Two of Cups. So this is about going within, figuring out what's the problem. What is it that you're upset about? This Hangman, Three of Pentacles, that you're a little defensive about. And this Two of Cups can be you wanting to, be gentle with yourself, not be too upset about whatever it is. I think you're regretting committing to something. But maybe you can get out of it. But Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, I don't think you have any problem standing up for yourself. So, or maybe you can, and again, Swords, that's air energy. I'm sure you can talk your way out of it if it's something you need to get out of. But that's what I got.
Okay, did everyone read? Okay, we can either stop here, Allison, it's up to you, or we have two more. So
I'm happy to keep going, but Val, you're running the stream, and it's
okay
fine either way. I'm good to stay.
You know what?
If you are.
I'm going to take off.
Okay.
So have a good evening, everybody.
Bye,
This has been fun.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Lana.
Thank you. See you next
See
week.
you later.
Bye.
Thank you for the cards.
So the second to last, Arlene, what do you see for me in May?
Is this regards to something? Can you make it towards something? Work, personal, love life?
Yeah.
For me, it's
Narrow it
easier to
just a
read if I
little
have
bit.
some direction.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just do oracle cards.
Let's see.
She said general, but
General. Yep, general.
Okay, thank you.
It's funny as I was shuffling the cards, two of them fell out, and the Five of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. And yeah, when I looked at them, I thought, okay, then, you're going to be renegotiating something, and you're going to say, yeah, this isn't working for me, and walk away. That's like, boom. That's what I got, Arlene. So hope that resonates.
And I can go right after Marina because I got right now you feel like you're going round and round over a situation is causing chaos and conflict around you. And the advice is to be the observer. Do not get involved with it. Look at other options. This moon looking towards your intuition, finding a path for yourself that's for your highest good and not to get caught in that other drama. And I was told to take a look at the bottom deck. And of course, TikTok came back out. So take your time, stand back, observe, and allow your intuition to guide you in the right way to go.
Okay, I can go. What I got for you, Arlene, to start with is break the chain. And it talks about rewriting your future. And then I pulled Anna, grandmother of Jesus, and it talks about laying foundations. So you're rewriting your future, but you're also laying foundations of what's to come. And then the last card I pulled was trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So it's very, very clear here. You're rewriting your future, you're laying your foundations, and trust what you're doing, and step out in faith and go forward with it. And that's what I got.
Okay, and oddly enough, I swear I shuffled these cards. Another loyal heart. So again, I feel like this is you nurturing yourself and not spreading yourself too thin, giving yourself the time you need. And connect with that tribe that resonates with you, the people that are of the same vibration that can support you energetically during this time. And just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it's all going to work out. Same message, another person.
Yep.
I pulled from the Flowers of the Night Oracle, and I got patience, death, and balance. So something's ending, and there's going to be a process there that's asking you to be patient with it. It's all going to work out, whatever it is, but there's something, and you might even know what it is. And with this eclipse coming, right, it takes things out of our life. So it could be part of the eclipse, or it's something completely, I don't know, maybe you already know what it is, but that's what I got.
Okay, Arlene, I hope that resonates with you. And our last one is Kathy G. I fell a couple of weeks ago, and it's still healing from my injuries. Is there a reason why I'm falling and not getting the message about whatever happened? 11
I felt
11 and a half
One,
years ago.
1.5 ago, like maybe
Oh,
1.5
1.5
days ago,
years.
or
Oh, what the
Yeah,
heck?
1.5 weeks ago.
something like that.
Is there a reason
What-
I'm
and-
falling?
So
I
you-
Just off the
Yeah.
bat, I'm not a doctor, but
Yeah.
I would say go to the doctor and have them
Yeah.
check your
Exactly.
ears for equilibrium and see if maybe there may be something throwing your equilibrium off that's causing you to fall.
Yeah.
As the master faller over here, I trip over my own 2 feet all the damn time, which is why I now have to use a cane everywhere I go to try to keep myself from falling anymore. But I would say go to my doctor and
Most
let
definitely.
them know that you're falling on a regular basis. And I mean, there are several things they can check to see if it's just some kind of an imbalance or an inner ear infection or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so she clarified. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, 1.5 years ago too. Okay, so yeah, I absolutely agree with Sherry. Is you want to rule out anything medical, right? I mean, we all want to follow our intuition and be on a spiritual journey, but there is absolutely a place for modern medicine. This is one of them. So you want to go and investigate, make sure that there isn't anything physical that's there. And yeah, maybe the message is go see a doctor.
That's what I was going to say. I
Yeah.
mean, because
Yeah.
I got serendipity. It's like,
Yeah,
and a higher power,
Yeah.
and the divine feminine energy coming in. So it's almost like it's saying, yeah, take care of yourself, and yes, resolve this in some way.
Yeah.
It's not like it's pointing to anything other than you fell and go take care of it by getting examined by your physician. Sometimes these things happen, so we'll find something out that we need to take care of. So.
Yeah.
Are we waiting on anybody?
Yeah,
I can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I feel like you know what it is. You already know what it is. So I don't know if you discounted it, like it came to you, and then you're like, no, or. And I had several things come into my mind, but then again, the field of work that I used to be in is probably that chattering. So I'm not going to get too excited about hits. But because I have a couple things right off the bat, I was like, well, it could be this, or this. But I think something that you suspect, you've already crossed it off your list, but that was what it was, is what I'm trying to say. But anyhow, the cards that I got, let me see, because I just pulled them. Yeah, yeah, it's already, I've got exercise your vibes and you're the boss. There's something that you suspected that maybe that it is, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got be generous. This is about taking care of yourself. So, and it's probably somehow connected to whatever the thing is you know what it is. So that's what I got.
That feels right to me.
Yeah, because I'm glad I let Allison go first, and now the cards made sense. The Ace of Fire I got from Cletbaron Reads. It's that inner knowing. It says here, inspired transformation. So the inspiration is you already have an inkling of what it is. The star 2 also represents intuition for me as well, besides the moon, connecting to your dreams, your intuition. And I also ended up with the Queen of Fire. So you definitely know what it is. And I'm just going to go out and say, to please go see your doctor. But what I did want to point out too is that she's holding a candle. It's lit, and it's above, and there's a heart shape there. So inside, within your heart, I'm saying it is your heart, but it's like lighting up that area. So that could be representing in your heart, what it is. But please do go. And that's where I'll end with that, without diagnosing or anything. But just make sure you go see your doctor, because I think, like everyone else is saying, you have a feeling that you already know what it is, and this is what the cards are suggesting.
Okay. I think that's it for tonight, everyone.
Thank you, Val.
Thanks, Val, for hosting.
Yes, thank
Allison,
you,
and thank you, Allison, for running
And
the
thanks
show.
for popping up the questions, Val, and being the host that's not the host, but the host.
Hostess with the mostest.
The hostess, yeah, I was going to say, the hostess
with the mostest, for
Thank
sure.
you for the numerology education.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Hopefully it made sense.
I know I got a book somewhere on it. I'm going to have to dig it out and look at it again.
Yeah.
I already did Indigo and Jaguar.
And I get an MRI done tomorrow, so they're
really
going
cool.
to put me in the machine and take some pictures.
That's good.
Oh, perfect.
Jerry, perfect. Loving
Say
it.
goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.